Hi, my name's Carly and I'm an ACE 2024 studio artist working across textile and fibre. So I'm Kaurna, Narungga and Ngarrindjeri, and growing up, art and culture were always around me, and when I was 10 I learned how to weave by a Ngarrindjeri elder, Aunty Trevorrow, and it really kind of cemented itself within my practice 5-6 years ago, and that's what's influenced my work today. The main ideas of my work, there's a lot of truth-telling and history and personal experiences within my work. That's kind of what inspires me to create work, and I use art as a language to share and express those ideas. I think what drives me to create work is that truth-telling and sharing stories, especially personal stories from myself or from my family. And practicing culture within my family hasn't always been allowed, and like for many other Indigenous families, it was you'd get punished if you practiced any culture. So that for me is important to continue. So this is the traditional way of weaving, and this is how I was learnt when I was a kid. This was the first basket that I made, and from these traditional techniques I've created these chunky weaving sculptures using the same techniques, just different materials. I use a lot of linen, cotton and satin fabric to create my work. The process of using the traditional reeds is quite a lengthy process. There's obviously the collecting and the soaking and the drying process. So to make this, I sew tubes and then stuff them, and then using recycled cotton yarn, I use the traditional stitch to create the vessels. Having the ACE studio this year has really helped me expand my practice and also networking. I only started doing this kind of chunky weaving style this year, and the studio has just really given me the space just to kind of make as much work as I can and see how far I can push that new style of weaving. For the studio's 2024 exhibition, I made 5 large-scale chunky weaving jewellery pieces. The work in the show is an extension of this previous work called the Crown Jewels. In this series, I recreated jewellery pieces in the British royal family's collection using traditional weaving techniques. I made this work to critique the systems and power and wealth of the British royal family and all that effects that it's had on Australia since colonisation. That's truth-telling, that's a big part of my work. Being at ACE has really given me the time and the space to really expand on this work. Through weaving on a much larger scale, this year I've created the jewellery in a more extravagant way to immerse the audience in truth-telling, making it more of a bold statement, harder to ignore. I was really inspired by my culture's resilience. This work contrasts the strength of Indigenous knowledge with the shallow legacy of colonial power. When audiences see my work, I would like them to be more open-minded about truth-telling and be more aware of the systems that have been created in this country. So through my work, I want audiences to be reminded of that history.